Hello everybody, the great February 23 rotation continues, and this time round I sold FCT and I bought Singtel. In the previous round I sold MIT and I bought ESR. I talked about it in the video over here. Quite a lot of reaction to the video, quite surprisingly. Some people liked the move, some people didn't like the move. Well, to each his own. And I talked about it previously why I did rotation. I thought the movements in the treasury yields were very volatile. It was a big move. In the space of 1 month, the 10-year treasuries rallied big time. And as of the last rotation, the 10-year treasuries was at 3.8%. Now it's at 3.95%. I think the volatility in the REIT space is going to continue. So take profit when you can, not when you're forced to. So what was surprising was the strength of the US economy and the market. Non-farm payrolls increased big time. A bit of uncertainty because of the seasonal adjustments, I thought. But nonetheless, the rest of the numbers like PPI, CPI, PCE, all are very pointing in the wrong direction. So I think the Fed will be forced to hike more and stay longer. And this is as a pronounced perception on the interest rate hike paths. So I think this has big repercussions for the risk space and certainly more volatility ahead. So I sold FCT at 2.2 and I bought Singtel at 2.39. I thought the price actions was very interesting. So look at the FCT price action over the past 6 months. You can see that this is the great Singapore sale in November last year, right? At 1.95 or something. After that, it rallied a lot. And then this was a point over here, right, when they announced the acquisition of Next. I thought the markets actually like the move. Before the announcement, it was at 2.16, and after that, after the announcement, the whole thing just rallied up to 2.27. I thought, I think that's a higher. I was hoping to see it break 2.3 and trade above book, but unfortunately, I waited and didn't come, and then it dumped off to around 2.15, 2.16, and then rallied back to 2.20, and I thought enough is enough, sell. So I sold it at 2.2. Most of my stake in FCT was bought over here in the 2019 period. So you can see actually over the past 3-4 years, I've actually no capital gains. So I bought over here, right, and I sold over here. So there's no capital gains. But along the way, I experienced a whole lot of volatility, ups and downs. Of course, it's the COVID lockdown, right, where dividends were slashed. And you have to pay rental relief to the tenants. But nonetheless, over the past few years, I've collected a very steady stream of dividends. So overall, the position was profitable. So as I said before, take profits when you can, not when you're forced to. And I bought Singtel. I thought Singtel share prices were actually interesting. Look at the 5 years perspective, right? Singtel has collapsed 30% over the past 5 years, whereas FCT has been quite stable, like pretty much flat. But inclusive of dividends received, the total returns will be pretty decent. But Singtel has completely taken it on the chin, right? Especially during COVID, when the lockdown and you have all these impairments and all this stuff, and the drop in roaming and what have you. It was a bloodbath for Singtel and continues to be, I thought. So if you look at the 1 year to date, right? FCT is up 6% and Singtel continues to be down 6%. I thought this is ridiculous. Because if you look at the first half announcements, they actually declared a special dividend of 5 cents paid in 2 tranches. I thought the amount of the special dividend was not very significant, but I thought the significance was that they decided to pay a special dividend. I think this signals the confidence of the management of the recovery path. So actually that's optimistic. But despite that, the market has continued to sell the Singtel down. I'm not sure why actually. Continues to dump and dump and dump. But anyway, when the markets are crazy selling off things, it's my habit to just go and buy. So I bought and bought and bought. So what's positive about Singtel, I think, is a recovery of the tourism sector, especially in Australia, right? Returning of the Chinese tourists and the Chinese students to Australia means roaming and more telco services fees to be paid. So I think that's a positive. On the negative side though is the mighty Sing dollar. I think the Sing dollar continues to strengthen, especially with the inflation print recently. I think MAS might have to tighten even more because inflation is just not letting off in Singapore, right? Right now it's still at 6+%. It's way too high. So I think the Sing will have to appreciate more. Therefore, it's going to be a very bit headwind versus the INR and the Aussie dollar, as well as the rupiah and peso. So, well, that's the negative side for Singtel, right? But nonetheless, I think there's a sell-off in Singtel. It's just too much and cannot be justified. So I took a position in Singtel and then unloaded FCT. So FCT, if the share price collapses in the next big Singapore sell-off, I'll be back to buy, man. So that's it. Good luck for everybody.